Hello everyone. Hi. I'm back today. Today's video is going to be very brief. It's not going to be too long. This is just part one because I have something I need to do. But I just wanted to a question came through and I wanted to answer it as best as I could. What to expect when your infant or toddler is going into daycare or a school setting or home-based centers or anything of that sort. What to expect. Please, parents. I just these are and everything that I'm saying here is basically everything that I know that I've experienced in 13 years of me actually working in daycare, dealing with small children from infant to preschool age. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say here every child is the same. Some kids are very much different and they adapt differently. Some parents are very different and they adapt differently. But these are the things that I've noticed over the years that I just want, kind of to make parents aware of. First things first, I'm going to speak for myself. I am the most, when it comes to people's children, there's no dumb question. Let's just be clear. No dumb question. This is your baby. You created it. You bring it into this world. You are entitled to know who you're leaving your child with. You are entitled to ask all the questions that you need to ask. Don't be embarrassed to ask questions. Ask questions. To me, that's like the number one thing that parents don't do when they come in. They don't ask enough questions for me. I noticed that a lot of people, like, I guess they feel like, they don't want to be so, abrasive, but you have to be. You don't have to be rude, you know what I'm saying? Because some people come and they're very rude, and you have to remember this person is taking care of your child, regardless of what this person physical appearance seems to be. Like me, I seem like very happy and jolly, which I am. I'm genuinely a dope person, but you have to be very careful. You're leaving your baby with this person. You want to know as much as you can and much as possible about this person. You just don't want to leave your kid with anybody. And it's already hard as a parent to have to leave your baby, because I don't think no parent intentionally wants to put their child in daycare center, but you have to, because you have to make a living, or you're a single parent, or you guys are working. Remember that way. Or you're working or things of that sort. So you have to you have to put your child in daycare, and you have to find somebody to listen. But these are some things that I want you to understand and expect when you're putting your child in these facilities. Like I said, ask questions. Ask questions. Do your research. Go online. Search that center from cover to cover. I don't care. Google it. Put it in. You want to know the list of how many accidents they have, how many incidents they have in a year. I don't know if they give you that stuff, but most of the time, if you look on the parent board or like a board across from it, it's a paper. I'm only telling you this because I think parents, you're not really supposed to know, but it's listed there. You know what I'm saying? It should be a question that you ask, so you know how many incidents do they have? Or is this center frequently having incidents? Are children frequently getting hurt? Just ask. The most they can tell you is yes or no. Just ask. It's nothing wrong with asking, but just ask. Upon coming in, there's a lot of paperwork. Be prepared for paperwork. Be prepared for paperwork. Parents get so upset. They come in, they like, oh, all I need is, no, you need everything. We need to know almost everything. We want to know, does this child have an allergy? List your child's allergy. If you're not sure, go see a pediatrician beforehand. If your child is under the age where they don't do the testing or whatever, hey, everything is trial and error. So most of the food, most centers, they do give food. I know my center where I came from and the center before I came from, I worked at one center where the parents had to bring food, and then I worked at a center where the food was provided. So most centers, generally, when it comes to infants, they have the infant meal, and they have the Similac, and they have, so it's infant meal, Similac, and it's another brand. I think it's by Happy Happy Baby, I want to say, or Happy, yeah, Happy Baby, I think it is. It's that brand. I'm not sure what the milk. I'll get it back. I'll come back on and I'll tell you what the name is. But it's like 3 brands of milk that they provide. Yes, if your child is drinking lactose milk or any other milk, if as long as you notify the sister prior to the child's initial intake, they will make the substitution and give the child that milk. Sometimes if they don't have it on the site, like for the time, like if it's goat milk or something of that sort that we can get, but we have to wait because we never had a child who needed it. You might have to wait and bring it in for a little while, and then they'll provide it for the child. But with infants, most infants are doing like breast milk or infant milk or something like that, or Similac or some Nutrition or something like that. So those are available at most centers. I'm not going to say all centers, but most centers that are school-based have that, that luxury. You get the infant meal. They do the food, the feeding, the now rice cereal has been discontinued. The rice cereal has been discontinued because of the metal that was supposedly in the rice. So they have discontinued that. So there is no rice at the centers anymore. They do still do the oatmeal, but the rice has been discontinued. So nobody is using that right now. So if your child is on rice, you might want to look into that. Do your research on that too. I know Gerber, I think it was by Gerber, they were having issues with the rice. Saying that there were metal pieces in the rice. So we, the center that I just came from, we don't do that. Those centers don't do that. What else? Bringing in the proper things. Remember, the seasons change, guys. Seasons change. So with babies, we never have this problem because parents always bring the whole. I feel like they bring the whole wardrobe when they become babies because babies have accidents all day. They burping, sitting up all day. So that. But for the older children, like 2 and up, bring a decent amount of clothes. Most centers request 3 to 4 outfits, meaning shirts, pants, socks, underwears, everything. Like 3 undershirts, 3 pairs of socks, 3 pairs of pants, 3 pairs of shorts, 3 pairs of t-shirts, anything. 3, everything is in 3. I say 4 just in case. You just never know. And try to make, I know it's not a requirement, but I prefer, when I was a teacher, if you just put it in Ziploc bag separately, each outfit in a Ziploc bag, label the bag with the child's name on it. I prefer if you label it like summer, spring, fall, because let me explain. Sometimes when a child goes to another class and that teacher that is occasionally with the child, that's all the time with them all the time, is not there. So if this child has an accident, you don't want your child to come to you in some summer clothes or some hand-me-downs from another room or something like that. So just label it, make it plain, the child's name, what season it might be. I'm just saying you don't have to, but just that's something that that's one of the things that I would have liked to have implemented. Because when you do things with season, fall, spring, summer, fall, it kind of eliminates your child coming outside looking crazy when you see them, and then you're like, why they got that on? You're like, oh, girl, she had an accident. Most places have washer and dryer. We're not supposed to actually, well, we can wash. We do it as a courtesy sometimes. And if the child has absolutely nothing, that means if the child ran out of all 3 outfits, all changing clothes, there's no spare clothes, that is the only reason that we would have to wash the child's clothes. That's the only reason. A teacher is not required to wash your child's clothes and like clean their clothes and stuff like that. We're not, we don't have to. If we do it, it's by choice. We're just choosing to do it because, certain teachers, I did it. I ain't gonna lie, I did it. But most teachers, they will not do it. So you ain't gonna. I keep telling people you ain't gonna never get a teacher like me. If you ain't have a teacher like me, you ain't gonna get a teacher like me. But you always think like that. Look, have enough socks, have enough underwear, especially with little girls. Have enough underwear. Have stuff, a lot of stuff. To me, there's not too much stuff. Just don't come in with the bedroom set. We don't want all of that. Yeah, we don't want all of that. But yeah, I'm trying to keep it simple. So when you come in, you do your intake. Please be nice. I know, it's scary. It's very scary because you're trying to you want to make sure you're making the right decisions. But we want everything to run as just as smooth as you want it to be. We want the process to be just as great as you want it to be. So I feel like when you come into the general center, look at the poster boards, look at upcoming events. Maybe because if you don't have questions, right? Like when sometimes you have questions like, oh, I'm gonna ask this, I'm gonna ask this. And then you get to the center, and then you're doing so much paperwork and so much talking and conversation is going on. So much buttering up is going on. You're not really focused on what you should be asking. So when you come in, generally, I like to look at the boards. Always look for the goals, the how would say, not the like the is it the objective or the plan, basically what the school wants to give your child, basically. I forgot what it's called. I don't have time for it right now. My brain having a brain fart for some reason. I was ready for this, but now I'm having a brain fart. But go there, look to see what the school goal is, what do they want to give your kid, what's their plan for your child being here. Ask those questions. What's their curriculum? That's the word. The curriculum is important. All ages have a curriculum. Yes, all ages have a curriculum. Don't let them say, oh, because your baby is 2 or 1 or months old, they don't have this. There is a curriculum required for each age group. For infants and toddlers, our main goal is to get them to the point where they are mastering all their milestones. Walking, talking, feeding, all of that great stuff that they do, that's considered a milestone. There's a certain age, at a certain time, a child should be holding their bottle, sitting up, holding their own bottle, learning to grasp, hold a spoon. There are steps to that. That just does not happen. You need, those are part of curriculum. We need to get that child where they need to be or where we want them to be. They need to get to those milestones. So by the time they get to the next level, they already where they need to be. So they could get to those milestones and move forward in life and to the center. So yes, each classroom, each room, each building has a curriculum. So don't let people be like, oh, your child in daycare, they don't do nothing. They do something. Trust me, all day. It may not be as embracive as detailed or like writing or anything, but they are doing their things. They're finger painting. They're learning how to use their fine motors, which is their fingers, their toes. They're wiggling their eyes. They're seeing things. They're noticing new things. Remember, they're in a new environment. So it might be some kids, they kind of slide in and go in with the routine, depending on what the mommy and daddy is doing at home. That's another conversation. But I think I'm going to say that for part 2 because that is very long. What you can do as a parent to prepare your child for daycare before you bring them there. So to make it easier on the teachers. But anyway, when you come into the center, look around, look at the environment, look at the colors on the wall, look at the people, look at the front desk person, look at the parents that's coming out, look at their faces, look at their response to the children, look at everything. I don't care what it is, pay attention because I'll say this as a teacher and a person. I don't have children of my own, but genuinely, when I go somewhere, I'm looking at the environment. I want to see the atmosphere, the whole shebang. So when I used to work at my job, if I saw a new parent coming in, I always spoke, regardless if the child was going in my class. If the parent wasn't really trying to bring their kid in, I always made myself available or present. So if I walk past and I'm like, oh, is that a prospector? Hi, how are you doing? Is this such and such? Oh, welcome to the center, blah, blah, blah. Hope to see you here. So the parent feels a little more at ease. And not only at ease, but it gives them a sense of confidence because like, oh, okay, these people are actually nice. They're welcoming, they're approachable, So that's one of the things I would say look at when you come in. The supervisors, the directors, the teachers, the people in your that are gonna constantly be in your child's space all the time. You need to know these people, get acquainted with them, start asking names, asking them questions. hey, so how about this? Or how do you deal with this? What is this situation? What if this occurs? If that occurs, how do we handle these things? You know what I'm saying? Um, how are supported are your teachers? Like, because like I tell people, a good teacher is as good as its leader. So if the head is a little shaky, you might want to like talk to them first. Hey, how you doing? Introduce yourself, see where their energy is. Now, you want to do this. Pay attention to everything. The paperwork is very important. Fill out everything. Yes, we ask for a lot of information only because we want to assure the health and safety and well-being of your child, your baby. The thing that the one thing in this world that the one human, the one thing in this world that means everything to you. We want to assure that that child has the best learning experience. If not, if they're uncomfortable, we can get in contact with you or somebody that connects with the child on that level. We ask for a lot of things. We also ask for parents to um, make themselves available once a month or twice a month, or maybe to um, assure that you're involved in your child's daily everything. We have parent teacher conference. Yes, we have parent teacher conference for toddlers, infants. Yes, because you need to know the process of what your child is moving in. So if there is some issues, we can figure it out early on. We're not waiting until they're 5 or 6 years old and they get in school, like real school, where it really counts. And they're behind because somebody didn't do the work from before. So these are things that you should ask. Pay attention. Teachers, ask them questions about, their credentials. A lot of parents now are asking about credentials. What are your credentials? What do you have? What training have you taken? To be where you are. Have you continue their education? You know what I'm saying? Like things of that sort. When it comes to infants and toddlers, you have to be extremely patient. If the teacher is telling you that your child is unhappy, hold on, guys. I'm trying to see. What is that? If the teacher is telling your child is unhappy, please don't take it as we're like being mean or rude or anything like that. We're not doing that. We're just trying to help make this transition as easy for you and us. Because in reality, your child is not the only child that we're dealing with throughout the day. Most infant and toddler classes, I know the numbers went down because of the COVID case, the COVID incident. But before it was like eight babies to 3 teachers. Now think about it like this. That sounds like, oh, that's cool. But if one of those teachers or 2 of those teachers come in, imagine this one person working with these 8 babies. So now this one person has to cater to all 8 kids. We are trained. Yes, we are trained to deal with certain situations, but it would really help if a lot of parents stepped up and prepare their baby for daycare. What I mean by prepare your baby, cut out the coddling at home. That sounds so abrasive, and most people, what do you mean stop? I'm not saying stop. Cut it out. Give it a time limit. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe don't do it all day. Cause let me explain to you. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it 110% with you. If your kid got a teacher like me, I don't hold babies. I know it sounds hard, right? I don't hold babies. I am not a nanny. I am not a babysitter. I do not hold babies. I want your child to be independent. I want them to be able to I call it cater your own crop. Like, I want them to be able to be self-sufficient. I want them to do that. Now, I'm not saying I don't show compassion and I don't hold them and we do that. I do that. If the child is new and they're having a hard time, I give 110 all the time. But realistically, I cannot hold your baby all day. So holding them is like a no-no in the room. We can't do that. We cannot do it, guys. We can't do it as much as we want to. As cute as the babies are, as soft as they can is, and as great as they smell, we cannot hold them all day. So we ask you, please make it easy for us. Make your child before they start daycare center, like in the first 3 months, you usually hold the baby all the time because you're breastfeeding. I get it. Limit that. Cut it off a little bit. Hey, you're going to sleep in your own bed. You're going to do this. You have to prepare your child to be independent. It sounds like your child has to grow up a little bit faster if you want to put them in a program. Because if you put them in a program, there's 8 kids. It's not just your baby. Now, if it was just your baby, that's different. But it's not. So it's your baby and 7 other kids, and 7 other parents want the same exact treatment that you want. They want you to hold their baby. They want me to give them about it. They want me to coddle their baby. They want me to swaddle their baby. They want me to do all those things. I cannot do that for 8 kids. If I was an octopus, I could make it happen. But unfortunately, I'm not an octopus. I'm only human. So I can't do that. So you have to make the transition not only easy for your baby, but for the teacher too, because you don't want the teacher overwhelmed. We all know babies cry. Babies cry, they cry, they cry, they cry, they cry. I promise you, crying does not bother me. I promise you. Now, it doesn't bother me. I'm not supposed to speak for other people, but it doesn't bother me because I've been doing this job too long. I know the crying because I need something. I know the crying because it's a pain. I know the crying because I'm just crying. I know all the cries. I know every cry there is. The scream. I know every cry there is. So it's not, neglect. It's not, I just know what the cry means. Now, if I just meet your baby, I kind of don't know what the cry is. So I'm just answering everything at this point. But eventually when I get that child in a routine, it's smooth. It's like, okay, I know what that cry is. You just want to cry. Go ahead, girl, get your cry on. We all cry sometimes. We all gonna have, but we have to make it easy on the teachers, especially now with COVID and everybody's mental here. The teachers are being trained, and it's called Trauma Smart. I don't know if a lot of people are doing it, but we took it at the other center where I work. They're teaching teachers how to deal with trauma. So they're getting the training. You just have to be a little more patient, and you got to understand that these are human beings. They're human just like you. Some teachers have children just like you have children. They have small children, big children. They're doing the same thing you're doing, trying to be a parent too. So let's work together so we can make this a successful transition. So you could go to work at peace. I could be at work at peace, and we could just have a peaceful time with the child and watching them grow. And it's the most wonderful thing, like for both parts. Some of the things I want to, because I really feel like the babies are, to me, more like very important. So I want to kind of focus on them right now. So the babies, when you're breastfeeding, right? Some parents, we have a place at the other sense, like the sense I came from. They have a place where you can come and breastfeed your child. You make a breastfeeding schedule. You let the teacher know when you're going to come in, what time you're going to come in, so they can have the baby prepared for you to breastfeed. Now, I get it. Breastfeeding is important, and it's a bonding, between mommy and baby. And that's just, what people prefer. But that's the pro, right? But the con is, if you have not a difficult child, but if you have a child that's very attached to you and you're attached to it, it kind of makes it harder on the teacher, because guess what? Now you're coming in, say, okay, your child is let's say 8:00 baby. So most kids eat like every 2 hours, every 3 hours, depending on, the time or the schedule or whatever. If you're coming in like 10:30 to feed this baby, right? Like 10:30, 11 o'clock, let's say you're coming in to feed the baby. Most feedings I've witnessed with 30 minutes. I think it's like 20, 30 minutes, depending on, the child's eating routines or whatever. They last 30 to maybe 40 minutes. That's the longest that I've had somebody or whatever. So imagine that. Now you have this child who's attached to mommy because they're breastfeeding. And now that baby has to go back to the stranger or the new teacher or the teacher. And now the baby is fussing because I saw mommy. She was here. She fed me. Now she left again. That is the con of the breastfeeding on like the time. Not saying that you can't do it. I prefer the little baby, like when they're like 3, 4 months, that's different. But when they get a little older, like 5, 6, 7 months, it's a little hard for us, because now you're coming, like I said, you're coming in, you're interrupting the schedule. Not really interrupting the schedule, but you're messing up the routine, because now I got him calm. He's fine. He's this. But now he's going to see you because you come into breastfeed. So I prefer like maybe to make it easier transition, do the bottle, and just prep the milk, put it in the little baggies, the breast, milk bags or whatever, and send them to school. Let them do the breastfeeding at the school until you're busting. And then when you go home, you'll give them that, skin to skin, thing to make the day go a little better, because it is hard on the teachers when the child has to come back in the room from, especially if the child doesn't like go to sleep instantly, so it's a little difficult with that. Another thing is that with when what I realized too, parents have a very difficult time of letting the baby grow up, especially when it's the first time. When it's the first child, oh Lord, y'all don't understand. We be like, Lord Jesus, we already know what this is. We have the parents staring in the window. And all centers should have, I think what majority should have open door policy where you could just come in and see your baby anytime you want to throughout the day. But it makes it hard for you and for the baby. In most cases, it's just the parent. They're just being extra. But if it's their first baby, I totally get it. I've had many first-time parents who were afraid to let go. So they are very really scared, and they are nervous, and they're not sure if what they're doing is the right thing. But I can assure you this, and I tell this to all my parents, especially my first-time parents. When you walk into a center or a center-based center, wherever you go to leave your baby, I promise you that mother with that thing in your head and your heart, if you get to that door and you get in there and it don't feel right, it just feel off, leave. Don't think about it. Don't overthink it. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? If you feel it here and you feel it here and it's they connecting to you like, walk away. It's okay. It just may not be the fit for you and your child. Don't try to just push yourself in it. Don't force it. Don't do it. Because the moment you force it, that's when you have a problem. So make sure that when you're doing, like I said, do your research. Do your research on these centers. Make sure they're numbered, now it's COVID, watch COVID numbers and all of that, flu numbers and all of those things. Pay attention to that. Read those handbooks. Okay, this is another thing that just grind my gears. I get it. Most of us, and this is straight honesty. Most of us, we refuse to read. We buy cell phones, we buy electronics, we buy all types of shit, and we don't read nothing. We get the phone, we all do this. We open the fucking box. We don't pay none of that shit in the box, no mind, right? None of that shit. But honey, it's different. This is a phone. This is a cell phone. This is a piece of product. Whatever happens to it, happens to it. This is your baby. This is your baby. You gave birth to it. Read those handbooks, because they will tell you everything that you need to know. You have to read. Even if you don't read all of them, skim through that shit. Open it up. Look at it. But see what their policies are for going outside, trips, incident, accident. Pay attention to that stuff, because let me tell you, it's very aggravating. When I gotta go to a parent and I'm saying, well, yeah, pickup time is from this time, You done signed all this paperwork. You signed this paperwork. You signed this agreement. You signed it, but you did not read it. So now you're mad at me because you signed papers and you didn't read the papers. And you're cussing me out. Oh, but nobody said, but you signed it. You signed the paper. Because when they give you the parent handbook, you have to sign the back of it and give it back, saying that you read it, you comprehend everything that's in that book. That's what that paper is for. They're not just giving it to you to give it to you. They're giving it to you for a reason. So read it. I don't care. Like I said, you ain't got to read all the stuff. Skim through it. Look through it. Check it every now and then. Maybe when you're on the bus, on the train, on your way to work. Look at that book, because it tells you everything. Time. I have parents that come in. We don't accept newborn. We don't do infants and toddlers until most infants and toddlers are only allowed on the premises at 8 o'clock. There is a early drop-in, some cities have early drop-in when you can drop the child off a little earlier and they'll take them. not for infants and toddlers, because if the teacher is not there or a familiar face is like that, you cannot leave that baby with anybody. You understand? We don't want to leave your child with anybody. Whether we all work in the same building, we cannot do that. So we have specific times for infants and toddlers to enter the building so they can be catered to. Now, if the teacher is not there and another teacher has to come in, that's totally different. And most of the time, if it's a teacher coming in, that teacher has worked and knows babies. It's a vet that's coming in. It ain't no, oh, she just worked here a month ago. No, it's a vet going in that room. Know for sure that it's somebody who had time and put in time. We don't just know, they don't play that. You don't just put nobody in the room with babies. So know that when they're putting that person in the room, they are a vet. They have done this job for more than 5 years, 10 years. They putting gray hair up in there. You understand? And ain't gonna be no young person that don't know what they talking about in there, okay? Another thing that parents don't really ask or express: feeding times. Tell people, like, okay, now there's a new thing with the vegan thing. Now everybody doesn't want to give their child meat. I don't have a problem with it. I get it. It's cool. No meat. It's cool. But there has to be a substitute because the child needs protein. So, like I said, do your research. If you're gonna take that protein away, you gotta add something else. Come on, guys, let's do your research. I realized avocado was a big thing now with infants, which is that's new for me. So they're doing the avocado feedings. A lot of new parents are into the avocado. Kids like it though. It's amazing to me. That and what is that? Butternut squash. They like that. I'm noticing a lot of kids from this particular generation eat their greens, which is amazing for me. I love that. I love to see that. I'm seeing more kids eat greens than meat, and they don't even know what chicken is. So that's great. That's impressive to me. Another thing is pick ups and drop off. Pick ups and drop off. Now, when you're just coming into the center, there is a 2-week period. I don't know what other centers have, but since I just left from, 2-week period, 14 days. Okay, guys, 14 days. Sometimes, depending on your kid, depending on how independent your child is, depending on how well your child gravitates to the group and the classroom and the teachers, that can change. It could go to 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, maybe just a week. But most of the majority of the time, 2 weeks to a week and a half. We usually do like 3 days, 4 days, depending on the kid. Now, if it's a baby, most infants have to go through the whole 2 weeks, because I realize with infants too that most time the first 2 days they're fine. They're like, whatever, you're leaving, bye. That third day that they realize that they're here every day, it's almost like, what? Like, why you? And that's when the real kid come out. So that third day, let's just say, I told you the last 2 days the baby was fine. Oh, he's fine, he's eating, sleeping, da da da. But the third day, I call you. I say, hey, little Jimmy's having some rough time and he's not doing well. We might need you to come pick him up a little early. Please don't get an attitude. Please don't get an attitude. You cannot do this. This person is taking care of your baby. I'm not telling you this because I dislike your kid. I'm not telling you this because I just don't want to be bothered. I'm telling you this because, one, your child is unhappy. Your baby is unhappy now. He's been with me for 3 hours. He's been with me for a few hours, and he's still crying. He's still unhappy. I've done everything. Fed, wiped, changed, coddled, talk, this, all of that. Did everything that I could possibly do. Heart, kiss, and he's still not happy. This is the only reason why I'm calling you. I'm not calling you because, I gave him the bottle, he didn't want it. So, no, I'm not doing that. I'm calling because I've done everything that I've been trained to do, everything that common sense told me to do. I've done all of it. We've done all of it. Even sometimes it gets to the extent where you just like, yo, come teach. You think you get this kid stuff? Like, trust me, there is, before a parent is called to pick up their child, I can assure you that we've done everything on training list, everything to make sure this child is comfortable, happy, or whatever it is. And this child just not happy. They just don't want to be around us. Right? They just don't want to be around us. And sometimes it's okay. We don't feel offended. We get it. Because as adults, we do the same thing. Like, I don't want to be around this person, but I gotta be here. You know what I'm saying? So we get it. It's expected. So when I call you, or when somebody call you, when a teacher is calling you, please don't assume they don't want to be bothered with your kid, okay? Nobody is doing that. That's not what we're doing. We're just basically trying to prepare you and let you know that look, we're here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're here. We're not trying to do anything. We just want to make sure your baby is comfortable, okay? That's what we want. So try to be a little more sensitive to the teachers, guys. And I promise you, like I said earlier, we as teachers and good teachers, we try our best to, because we understand what it is to have to work and be there, and you can't run out immediately, and you can't just get up and go when you want to because you're on the clock and you're being paid for your services just like we'll be paying for ours. So we get it. Trust me, we get it. We totally understand. But if somebody is calling you, if a teacher is calling you and telling you that you have to come pick up your kid, trust and believe they're calling you for that reason only. Because nobody, I promise you, with my coworkers, we used to be like, dang, I don't even want to call her because I know she at work and I know she just started a new job. Like, it kills us most times to call. Like, it does. It really does kill us, especially with the little babies. It's a little, you want them to adjust. You want them to be a little, you want them to kind of like you and stuff like that. I know I like when the babies like me. But it's a lot. So I want parents to understand there's nothing wrong with you having to work and bring your child to daycare. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing. You're not a bad parent. You're actually a great parent because you want your child to be in a place where he can still learn to be productive. You're not putting him in a like a, how you say, in a nanny service, or have a nanny or somebody just watch him all day. No, you want him to learn. So you're putting him in a learning facility where he can learn and grow and come back to be independent and things like that. So you're an amazing parent because you're making a decision. Yes, you lose a lot of time with your baby. Sometimes children do things at school that they haven't done with you, and you miss those things. And for us, most centers have a policy that we're not allowed to tell parents, and I don't know if this is like a secret or anything, but we're not technically allowed to tell parents if their child starts doing something like walking. We're not allowed to tell you the child is walking, because most parents, that's like the one thing that parents want to see when their child starts walking. And it kind of makes them feel bad when they miss that stuff. So imagine you're at work, and then you come from work and pick up your baby, and the teacher's like, little Jimmy walked all the way over there, and their faces, oh my God, y'all, their faces make you want to cry. And it's really sad, and they just feel bad because they missed it. So we, most of the, I don't know if it's like the centers I've worked for and worked at, there is a policy where we don't really tell if the child will, like, we'll wait until maybe okay, for instance, I had a kid that started walking. The mom was saying like how he was taking steps and what he was stepping up and stuff like that. I didn't tell her that he walked. I just said he was taking, like, he stood up. I didn't tell her. When she came in after the weekend, she told me he started walking. But I had already known that because he had walked that day. But I didn't tell her. I just said he stood up and he was trying to take steps. I didn't tell her he was walking. I just said, oh, he was trying to take steps, but he was standing up like that. When she came in on Monday, she was so excited to tell me that he started walking. And I mean, I don't know if they're giving out Oscars for this. I was like, what? He started walking? Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Is he going to work today? You going to walk today? Like, so excited. Like I had to play a part because I didn't want her to feel like she had missed out on something so great. But yeah, an emotional roller coaster for parents and teachers too. We get to see almost everything. Not every parent is the same. Some parents are very overprotective. So they kind of, want things their way or whatever like that. And you're like, hold up, wait a minute, give me some time to get this together. But it's an overall great experience. I want parents to know out there that you can work and feel okay with your child being in daycare because it is great. I'm telling you, I can tell you stories. I've been working daycare. I've been working in early learn now for 13 years. And I can tell you this for sure, that the children that leave from the center and go into regular school, go into like first grade and second grade kindergarten, they surpass all the children. You know why? Because they have social skills, they're confident, they're independent, they know how to hold their own, they're doing things. I have teachers come to me like, oh my God, like how did you da da da? They are ready, honey. When they get to that kindergarten, they are ready. They are focused. Can't nobody do anything, say anything. Those children are ready to take the world. You understand? So it is a great choice when you're putting your child in daycare. Just expect that. Kids, and also, I don't want to freak anybody out. I call it the first week sneezes because and I feel like it's just like almost like a initiation to the center, because I call it the first week sneezes because first week sneezes are like it's a cough, or it may be a cold, or like I feel like it's like the child being inducted to daycare, because I feel like all new kids come in, they immediately, like the second day, and it's not because the center's not clean or whatever. They're just, especially if it's a child that's not around other children frequently, or a child that's an only child, they're not around other children, so they're not immune to other kids and other people. They get the first week sneezes, which is like a runny nose, light nose, run or whatever like that, and it goes away immediately. Maybe after the first couple of days, it's gone. That's why I call it the first week sneezes, because first week sneezes go away like that. It's like nothing. It's just like basically a welcome to school, welcome to an environment, welcome to all of these, we're extra people now. And I feel like children who get them are most likely children who aren't around other kids, who are with mommy and daddies all the time. So work on your child's immune system. That's another thing. Working on your child's immune system before you get them in school. Give them that vitamin C, cod liver oil, black seed, or whatever you give kids, whatever y'all give them. Make sure you give them that before they get to school, because I can assure you that I clean my classroom, spray, bleach, all of that. But I cannot assure you that other people do it in their home. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? So when they come into my class, when they come in the room is clean, everything's sanitized. Now, I can't tell you what little Timmy mommy doing or what little Franklin mommy doing. I can't tell you what they're doing in their home. So when you're bringing your child to daycare, make sure you get those immune systems up. Give them that orange juice in the morning. Not orange juice, because now allergies or whatever. Give them something. Give them vitamins. Give them whatever it is the doctors say give kids. Give it to them. Start building up that immune system. They have elderberry powders that you could just put in water and take the little thing. Give them that too. Give them all that stuff. So get their vitamin C up. Give them all that stuff. So when they come into the center, they're ready for whatever. So do not, constantly calling out. Because if a child does get sick, there is a protocol. Everything has a protocol. If your child has a runny nose, if it's clear, if it's clear, it's fine. It's just runny nose. It could be allergies, or he could just be coming down with something. Now, if it's changing to yellow and green, those are considered infectious diseases. So the child must be out until the green or yellow mucus has cleared up again. Once it's clear, the child can come back to school with a doctor's note saying that the child doesn't have any infections or anything like that. But if the mucus is clear, it's fine. If it's clear, it's fine. But once it becomes yellow and green, it's considered an infectious disease. And that has to be reported, so they cannot come back until that has cleared up. That is just protocol. Don't get offended when the teacher's like, oh, little boo-boo can't come back to school because he got that green mucus. Because y'all people say, oh, but he got it from here. So just because he got it from here, you feel like he should come back in and give it to everybody else? But everybody else didn't get it from, you know what I'm saying? Nobody else has it but him. So don't do that either. So, kids get cold, kids get scratches and boo-boos, guys. We go outside. Sometimes children fall, they scrape their knees. We all did it as children ourselves. Now, I'm not saying if it happened every day, you shouldn't question it. That's different. But if a child occasionally scrape his knee, don't think the teacher put him there. Ain't nobody do nothing there. They probably was playing, got hurt, and got a little scuff on the knee or a little scuff on the elbow, something like that. Things happen, accidents happen, incidents happen. We are human just like you're human. We cannot prevent everything. Y'all over here acting like y'all ain't never had no problem when the baby rolled off the bed when they was like a little baby and you wasn't paying attention. We be knowing about those. We be knowing about them because you know what? Your kid came and told us. So don't sit here and act like you the great parent and your child never fell in your company. It happens. We all know it happens. So that's another thing too. Kids get scrapes and boo-boos. Be prepared for that. Expect it. Okay? Expect it. Let me see. What else with the babies? What else? I did feeding. What else? Any questions or concerns or anything, comment below. Anything you want to ask me as far as like, I do believe that they raised the fees for, I think it's like $400 like a week. Don't quote me, or $350 a week for infants and toddlers. That's a lot of money, y'all. I'm sorry, it's a lot of money. But I would say, now they have 3K and 4K. So if your kid is like 3 years old, at 4 years old, honey, you better go get them in that public school, because that at least that way they're guaranteed structured play and structured work and stuff like that, and you don't have to change the school. Think about it. Something to think about, guys. Something to think about. It's something to consider. If your child is 3 years old, turning 3, or 4 years old, they got 3K, 4K. Put them in regular school. Okay? If you feel they're ready for that. Don't put your child in there if you don't feel like. If you feel like they need that smaller setting first, the initial, because that could be hindrance too. Like, you don't want to rush your baby into a setting that they're not ready for, What? Oh, I have somebody right now. They're texting me about their child have to be out of school a week because of the cold. With COVID, guys, expect your child to have to be home. If your child has a runny nose, a slight fever, or is sluggish in school, they will call you and tell you to come pick them up. Because we technically, when people are like, oh, the signs, nobody knows the true signs of COVID. You understand what I'm saying? Until they present themselves. So, nobody knows. So to be like, oh, I know, you don't know. So especially with kids, some kids, they could be sick. I've had kids in my class, 4 or 5 kids in my class, sick for days at a time, and nobody knew, because they act the same way they act when they're not sick. They playing, they running, they jumping, So with kids, it's a little different. They could have snot coming down. They still like, oh, I'm gonna play. I don't care. I want to play with these blocks, and I'm gonna sneeze all over these blocks, and I'm gonna let other kids play with them, and they're gonna be sick too. So, be careful with that too. I tell you, teachers, we are like cleaning all day, literally. In infants and toddler classrooms, you're definitely, majority of your job, 10% of your job, 20% of your job is cleaning. But yeah, most of our job, I'm sorry guys, I'm looking at something else, is to clean up. That's what we're doing all day. I promise you. We're cleaning all day. When we come in, we're wiping tables and chairs. When the kids come in and they finish eating breakfast, we're wiping tables and chairs. We wash our hands, wipe tables and chairs. When they finish doing that, After they do an activity, wiping tables, chairs, and chairs. You're cleaning them up. We go outside. While they outside, somebody inside is what? Wiping tables and chairs. We table, toys, and chairs all day. They come in, wash their hands, wash their hands, get ready for lunch. You know what we're doing after that? Washing tables and chairs all day long. It's a constant repeat. It's like repeat all day long. So that's what we're doing all day. In between giving lessons, reading stories, doing fine motor, doing gross motor, working on our running, skipping, jumping, all of that. We're cleaning tables and chairs all day long. Guarantee it. I promise you. All day. And now with COVID, you're doing it. You're coming in, cleaning tables and chairs. Sit down, good morning, cleaning tables and chairs. Washing your hairs, cleaning tables and chairs. Put it over there, cleaning tables and chairs. It's like a song all day. All day. Clean tables and chairs all day. Toys, tables, and chairs. That's it. All day, guys. All day. All day. All day. That's what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. You want to know what we're doing? All day. Making sure your child is safe. All day. Cleaning all day. I remember I used to clean so much, guys. My hands, you see how pale they are? My skin used to peel horribly. I couldn't keep nail polish on my nails. It was horrible. Now I'm a little better. I've been out of work for a month now. So, but yeah, and then COVID, so we was out for the year. But honey, my hands used to look crazy. I used to look like I create lumber for a year. Like, for real, my hands used to look crazy. But I'm trying to think of any other baby things. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Anybody wants to ask any questions? Know anything? I can answer that for you. If you want to know some of the things that children, infants and toddlers might do. Most times we're focused, like I said, with infants and toddlers, we're basically focused on getting them to sit up. You know, things that you would do at sit up, roll over, like I sound like a dog. Sit up, roll over on their back, roll over on their stomach. Hold on, wait. My internet seems to be giving an issue. Yes, we're doing that most of the time. I'm gonna cut this down short because I have to go. But any questions? If you guys want to come in the chat and talk about something, I'm here. I have all the questions, all the tea. I just wanted to get on here today and talk about that. I actually have a few people on my Facebook asking me questions now about daycare and school, early school. I know it's pros and cons. There are more pros than cons. Let's just be clear. Very few cons of putting your child in an early childhood setting. I'm telling you, it makes your child very independent. It makes your job as a parent very easy because you don't have to do all of the, you have to still do your part as a parent, but it kind of takes a toll off you. You know, it helps you get a lot. You got more help and stuff like that. Now you have the support. So, it's a good thing to do. So maybe you guys might want to do that. I'm going to come back to do the part 2 of this video where I talk about older children, like from 2 to 3, those children a little older, and give you the policy on that, because I did the infants now, but I wanted to really talk about them because a lot of people seems to be concerned about their babies when they're infants, but they're great, honey. They're going to be well cared for. You don't have to even question it, okay? So, I'm going to see you guys later. Hopefully, I can do the part 2 of this when I get back from what I'm doing, because I have to go pick up somebody's kid. Because that's what I do now. I pick up children from school. And I get paid for that with my business on the side as well. So, and I have a few deliveries to do that today. I have 2 deliveries today. So, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to leave and I'll be right back with part 2, talking about the older children, 2 to 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. So, I'm going to get back to y'all, and it was nice talking to y'all. Hopefully, there'll be some questions when I come back that I can answer. If not, hey, you got this video up here. You'll go back to it, check it later. If you have any questions, fine. But I hope it's helpful to help you when you're thinking about putting a child in daycare center, it is a very good thing. You can do it. Don't be scared. But like I said, your stomach and your mind and your body and your head, all of that will tell you when you walk in there if this is the fit for your baby. Always ask questions. There's never a wrong answer. Remember, this is your baby. This is your baby. You created this human being. So you want to know everything about, whatever you're gonna lead them. Okay. That is my call. So I'm gonna go. Um, Blessing, peace and blessings. And I look to see you guys later. Bye.